FPX? I don't know. Wow, that's actually so far away. But you know what? It's going to feel like tomorrow. Very, very soon. That's a confusing statement. Anyway, WE and FPX, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you one thing that is true. We got a very different draft here moving into game number 2. The Pantheon from Plex has been a favorite in the past. Doinby on Azir doesn't feel like a Doinby champion to me. That's not even Dark Technologies. That's just Azir. As we head onto Summoner's Rift and we look at the Pokeball that no longer has FPX's logo above it. That's right. That does look like a Pokeball. It looks like
a Pokeball.
The Champion League trophy. You beat the Elite Four, and then you verse. By the way, just while we're at it, we're not going to become LCK where we talk about Pokemon. The best Pokemon is Pearl. No, Ruby.
Look,
no,
I'm going to be honest here.
Pokemon
I haven't
Yellow.
played since like.
Oh, I can't even make up my own mind.
Sapphire, I think.
Really?
It was a long
hey,
time ago.
you're an OG player. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Beishang getting cheeky here with the parallel convergence. Now, as we see this little invade with a bit of warding coming up, that's going to give some information to WE, let's talk about the Echo Jungle. Because he's got Dark Harvest. And Dark Harvest is a Karthus rune or an ARAM rune. And this is an ARAM, and he's not a Karthus. So run me through it.
Well, essentially, you've got so much damage coming out from this Echo that you want to try and facilitate that even more. You're going to be getting people low with your burst combo, particularly if you're pairing it with the likes of Plex and Morgan in these scenarios. So having that rune that can start to really feed off it works well. The other thing you can go towards is the likes of the Electrocute and go for this very gank-heavy stall. But I think Beishang has realized, hey, look, I need something that's going to facilitate me scaling into the later stages. And Dark Harvest offers that rune that can ease that transition towards the later stages. And I think in particular Beishang is going to be looking together here with Plex. Doinby does have the cleanse, but this Azir is not very good at pushing against the likes of Pantheon because you've got to play so respectfully.
Yeah.
If Plex can get the advantage with the help of Beishang, well, level 6 is on the cards then for this Pantheon and can really start to influence the rest of the map.
Just back to Beishang, though, we're seeing some really safe runes. Inspiration second, nothing like the precision where you can get yourself Presence of Mind for the extra mana, or even get like Coup de Grace, which, you know, as an Echo who's auto-attacking is still pretty good. For Beishang, he opts in for the safer secondary. And to me, it's very fascinating. Gimgoon making Poppy look like Ornn, an assassin. Tien looking for an invade, though. Look at this. Aggressive. Over a ward. W will spot him. And Beishang ready to take him on.
So Plex realized, hey, look, if Beishang is going for this full clear, Tien is going to be first on the map. Moving across, he's got the wave clear. So I'm going to let Doinby push me in, which meant that in theory, Plex should be able to hover across here to help out Beishang. But because he's playing the map state more, he's not able to.
Just watching Gimgoon trade. This should be boring, but it's really not. Like, Gimgoon is smacking Morgan against a wall. And the
Just
last
Poppy
time,
things.
yeah, look, the last time we've seen Poppy, was it Doinby? No. Fun fact, by the way.
It was actually LNG because they swapped it to jungle, where they baited it for Flandre in the top.
And hey, we said the playstyle changed. FPX want to dive the top lane here. Morgan's in a lot of trouble, and he's weak. In comes Gimgoon. In comes Tien. In comes Doinby. And first blood to Poppy top. And he lives.
They also gifted that kill over to Gimgoon, which was really bizarre to me. I thought Doinby was going to go in for one more whack, but instead, Poppy gets the kill, and they're trying to make sure that Gimgoon can have this great game on the solo lane and not have to worry about Morgan for quite a while.
And there's no trade here from Beishang. One scuttle for one scuttle. That first blood also nets Bammy Cinder in the top lane.
And that's surprising to me, because most times when we see Aatrox in the top lane, the enemy will go for some sort of Grievous wounds, either Executioner's Calling or the Bramble Vest, and I thought Gimgoon would go for Bramble Vest first. But instead, going for the Bammy Cinder means that he wants to get that Sunfire as soon as possible and look to proc those trades off of the new passive the Sunfire has in 10.1, where if you get the CC down, your auto attacks do more damage.
Yeah, we're just seeing a lot more damage in total from the item. I just love that there is a Doran shield now on the Aatrox top. He didn't opt in for Corrupting Potion, which is also quite unique from Morgan. He's gone for just regular consumables. Now, a bit of extra stats here, going to give him a bonus, but Gimgoon comes in with a Hammer Shock, smacks him down. And long trades definitely favoring Gimgoon right now.
So Beishang at the moment is being relatively quiet in the jungle.
That he is.
Wants to hit that level 6, so then if Tien does show up, he's still got that OR button to escape. It's giving TN a lot more pressure on the map, which is how we saw Doinby moving. And now as well, will give them pressure around this bottom side for the Dragon that is just up. FPX would love, again, to start picking up 1 or 2 if they're allowed, just to stop WE snowballing this aggressive early game composition and getting to Dragon Soul as quickly as possible.
And a Cloud Dragon on Lee Sin as well this early on. That 10% ultimate CDR just feels really, really good on Dragon's Rage. But you can see Bei Shang was opting instead towards mid lane, but this is a great stopping it back. Jomung actually eased forward. What the heck? LWX and Chris get a freebie there, and now they're just attacking missing, but damage done. Ezreal, wrong way.
This is where I wish I had Pro View, because I nearly feel like he accidentally hit the mini-map or something to arcane shift forward.
Oh, no.
But unfortunately, does cost him so much. Doesn't even bother burning the flash in that scenario. Knows he's going down.
He's dead. He was simply backing for the tier, but the bullet, the make it rain, from LWX to stop the back. Well coordinated. And a solo kill in the 2v2. I guess a duo kill, we'll call it. Puts FPX with this top lane about 1,000 ahead and control of this dragon you were mentioning before.
They already had it. Now they just get to double down on it. Bei Shang might be looking to try and go for the steal because can go over the wall and then use the E to get himself back out.
He's trying to be a giant here. Oh, Bei Shang. I love this skin so much. When it came out in China, I just spent all my RP. Echo main, by the way.
I'm still trying to get to level 30, to be honest.
Well, lucky we had the tutorial system over here. Makes it easier. But the pressure of a Pantheon who did teleport in will actually take this one back. So, again, when we talked about these compositions coming into it from the draft, we said, okay, FPX are just going to scale again. We're just going to get to a point where they're unbeatable. But in the meantime, Pantheon mid, the Echo in jungle. And we see the effect of it on the first Dragon.
It's also LWX and Chris but backed away, so not wanting to stick around because you got Ezreal coming back, so they wanted to get that recall off, use the gold they got from the kill, and try and punish this lane as quickly as possible before Jomong is able to get control back.
Okay, Tien, after resetting, goes to the top side. He picked up double longsword there, by the way, in comparison to Bei Shang, who now has Stalker's Blade with the Fiendish Codex on top, so no Runic Echoes yet for this jungler. But notice, folks, we've got 2.5 minutes until we see the Rift Herald in the top side. Scuttle is available. It's going to be about timing here to align it with the objective spawning up there. Gimgoon's had control of this lane for a little bit, but Morgan's caught back in some CS at this point. And Dagda, slowest game even with 2 kills. This is a pretty feels good. Not for the audience, but for me.
I'm going to say for FPX as well. We already said it. Different style, different pace from FPX. Trying this Azir in the mid lane now for Doinby. Not this mid-game carry to help LWX and Crisp in the bottom lane. Instead, Doinby's going to be the one bearing that mantle.
Gimgoon has himself the steadfast presence. That trade could have gotten pretty ugly. Flash available for Morgan and the ultimate, but WE exerting their early game pressure here in the top side. Tien just backing away. They're happy to give it. They're happy to give it away. It'll be about where WE use it here in this game too.
I like that WE are picking up these early objectives.
Yep.
Now I want to see them utilize it with Plex. You have an Ezreal that really wants some help on the bottom side of the map. You could also have pressure exerted up towards the top lane onto Morgan. Well, thank you very much.
Skyfall is just going to hit away.
Oh, no.
That's okay. There's no one really there to follow up.
Yeah.
So Plex would have just power into the bottom lane duo if he went any further.
It was more I was hoping that he'd use this to help out somewhere. So if you can have Plex shove in the wave, then transition that towards... I really would love to see a top side where they help out Morgan and start this regular game plan we have from WE. But with them moving around, Jomong into the mid, alongside Missing, that becomes a little bit more difficult for Bei Shang to find an entrance. Although, to be fair, a lot of people just say, look, they're opting into this 1-3-1, which is also a style the comp can go for.
I love that members of FPX Doomby here because they're trying to stop the backs. Just goes back to farming in the end as well. LWX does it again, but he's probably not going to turn onto Plex. But Tien, what are you doing? Are we killing him?
They're going to try. They're waiting for this minion wave to Congo line past.
Crisp not level 6 here with the depth charge to take note of. Bottom lane from WE is rotating down. Of course, I mean Missing there. Bei Shang somewhere nearby as well. Dive time. Okay.
Oh, the W was just used by Echo on the camp as well. So if they go for this play, wouldn't have been able to stop it. But enough of a vision with missing to realize, hey, look, FPX, we don't want to go for this play.
Okay, good spot there. Beisheng does have the Runic Echoes as well, but this is still pretty dangerous. Parallel convergence onto the aggression of Tien. Tien a level behind in this jungle, by the way, as we start calling this one an LCK game with how many kills going across. Level discrepancy for LWX.
I knew we should have talked about Pokemon. I
know.
knew we should have done it.
I did, though. I started this with Pokemon. What do you expect? Gimgoon really starting to hurt in this lane, but I mean, that's Poppy against an Aatrox who rushed the Ninja Tabby. Here we go. Rift Herald bottom side. Beisheng's here as well. 3 members strong. Pantheon does not have ulti, but FPX are nowhere nearby, so this is gold over to Ezreal, over to Beisheng. But will it be the turret?
It won't be the turret. I imagine that with so many members down here, don't forget the Bulwark increases with members that are around that turret. So with the 2 plates still standing, they're going to be incredibly tanky. And with MF making her way down to the bottom side, LWX can pick up the creeps that are there.
And Tien, top side here, is going to find Morgan. World Ender and Flash, again, still there. He hasn't used it in the one-on-one against Gimgoon. Means that now he has an opportunity to. Chunks out Tien, and we'll just trade wards. So definitely LCK, which means I get time to talk about things. And you know what? You know what my page says?
What does it say?
It says it's time to talk about WE. Because we talk a lot about FPX, and you know, people don't. People sometimes say we're biased, but we're really not. We just got a lot to say on FPX. And I'll balance that with WE. Let's talk a little bit about Beisheng. I mean, the Echo is kind of a bit of a pog. We haven't seen our first fight with it yet. We haven't really seen him do anything with it yet, but he does have a CS lead. And for Beisheng, people remember him from last year's WE 2019 spring debut when, for WE, they lost some of their core junglers. Oh, come on. I knew Talking Story would just do this, wouldn't it? Are you joking? Beisheng has himself the ult. He has to chrono break immediately backwards. Now he's out of the fight with WE. Looking to go forward, though. Plex has joined. Morgan's teleported down. And the Poppy is here, too. It's on top of Dragon, and Gimgoon's running in.
LWX is off to the side here, but you got to be careful. Morgan can't go for this misfortune.
Beisheng's still behind the Dragon, looking to steal, but it's resetting. Tien gets knocked up by Morgan, but the World Ender is cycling out here. Here comes Pantheon on top, into the Starfall. FPX have been jumped on Tien, flashes away by Gimgoon, takes care of business. In the backside, they win that fight. The bullet time used, Beisheng gets the Dragon at least, but Gimgoon's not done. Onto Jelmong, the Dredge line connects, and the hitbox goes for years to kill Jelmong.
The confidence from LWX in that fight. I would not have had that to be, or had the confidence to go for the play he went for. Sitting in the back line, Aatrox to his left-hand side, and he decides, now is when I use the bullet time. But it worked perfectly. Knew that there was no Dark Blade available for the Aatrox, didn't have the Infernal Chains, so there was nothing to disrupt the MF. And you'll see it towards the end of this fight, because it lasted quite a while. When Morgan forced out of this fight, though, LWX sets up, and Morgan isn't able to cancel that for so long that the damage comes through. WE are thwarted, and Gimgoon is going to go chase down this Ezreal along with Chris.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't flash or arcane shift in the straight line against Nautilus. That's all I'm going to say.
Look, Jelmong is struggling a little bit with the arcane shifts this game.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard. Well, the first one wasn't. The first one was just silly. But the second one, you know, that was a very hard fight for FPX to win. This whole game we've been talking about how WE can exert their pressure in the first 20 minutes of this game. And that's a fight where full 5-on-5, FPX know they lose that. But good execution, even though Doomby misses his ulti, and WE are separated.
And that's why we love to watch FPX. We love to see these guys mechanically play these fights. It's the decision-making in crucial moments that defines FPX as the world champions. We saw it again in that team fight where players were stepping up in a moment where they should be the ones behind.
Missing in perfect position here on LWX. Flash is available. Cleanse there as well. Burns it a little bit late, but gets away. Some good kiting in the end as well. So Solar Flare for the Flash, always going to be worth it at the end of the day, and that gives WE some lane priority in the bottom side.
Top side is going to go over towards Tien, though, because Gimgoon is pushing in this top lane. We'll be able to collect that Rift Herald and give themselves a nice little bit of an advantage, because just MF things with pushing the bullet time out in the bottom lane.
I think one of the lowest cooldowns on ultimates does go to bullet time. We're at 100 seconds
Yeah, it's
at
crazy,
level 1.
though.
It's such an impactful ulti. And at this point in the game, 2.5k damage if you sit in all of it, so significant. TN does pick up another significant objective, though. That's the Rift Herald going over to FPX, and he's down 30 CS. But he has the ability here to push Doomby in a really good position.
We said already, though, Tien doesn't, so hang on.
Oh, hang on. Emperor's Divide is available, though. Shoves them both back. Beishang has himself the parallel convergence on top of the Chrono Break. But Doomby and Tien want to chase. But it's just the least in at this point as Beishang Sonic Wave. Tien, he's feeling it. But not quite. Rift Herald gets the mid lane turret, while FPX say, let's keep going.
Gimgoon off to the side as well. All 5 members from FPX pounce and pick up 2 turrets. You said it in the last game, Hysterics. One mistake against FPX is all it takes.
And that mistake costs them 2 turrets. They can back and reset, and it's first items galore on the board. Sunfire Cape Top Warriors with almost a Black Cleaver. And the Essence Reaver here for LWX.
I want to go back to a point we were making just before that started, though, was that Tien, in this situation, doesn't need to be ahead of Beishang. Tien's job is to help cushion the blow that WE can hit against FPX in the mid-game. Tien is doing just that by stealing away these Rift Heralds and helping with LWX.
Plus he's got 2 kills. That CS lead essentially doesn't matter because Tien's got an extra 600 gold.
Yeah, so not only is he cushioning it, he's actually hitting back with that cushion for a little bit.
Dude, that hurts. That cushion hurts. That's an IKEA cushion.
I got a nice IKEA cushion.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
got a
what one you
cold
have.
slate. You paid a lot of money for that.
A lot
I've
of
never,
money.
ever seen someone spend that much money on a pillow at IKEA.
It was the best decision I've ever made.
Look, it's a good pillow.
There's only a handful of things
Shout
you're
out
supposed
to
to spend
Penguin,
money on.
right? I used it when I stay at your place. You know, I've used Penguin's cushion, pillow, right? You call them pillows, don't you?
Yeah, we do call them
Okay,
pillows, yeah.
we're at different sides of the world. I'm just curious.
I
I don't
mean,
know what
fair.
happens over there. But I've used his pillow. Now, I know there's something going around. We are safe. I sanitize my body. All right, we're okay. Anyway, I'm going to dig myself into a hole if I continue with this. Gimgoon's up against 2 people here if he sticks around here. And you can see that Missing actually moving towards the bottom side. So, can you kill Gimgoon at this point, though?
It's a bit of a hard one. I still would want to see the Bramble Vest come in, just make this lane a bit easier for yourself.
Could be on the way.
It could be, but he's not going to have time before this dragon is up. Gimgoon in a position, had the teleport if you'd like to try and make a play towards topside, but I think FPX realized, hey look, we want our front line here because we're able to absorb so much damage and set up for Doinby and LWX.
And you know what's annoying here for WE? The Poppy ult is available as well, the ability to disengage 1.
Plex off to the side here. Needs to be careful of the flank if you're FPX.
Rooftop Barrage comes through. Morgan has ulti as well. Gimgoon's already used his ulti. They jump in. Beishang gets the drag, and now for FPX, the bullet time to come through as well. But look at the back line. Pantheon jumps in as Doomby holds his ulti, but Morgan's found his party, and it's right onto FPX's Joe Mung. Finally gets something. A good kick to disengage as Gimgoon holds his flash, but is it too late? No. He survives. It's 1 kill against FPX.
It isn't over though. Plex is looking for more, not quite able to land the spear to slay anyone on FPX.
Atreus really tried there on Plex, and WE walking forward. Now it feels like, okay, momentum's still there. They're still in a position where FPX will lose the fights.
And this is what we were talking about. WE, when they start to hit this point, are in a great spot. You can see how Plex is able to disrupt these fights so much. Even with the Emperor's Divide, Plex is able to enter into the back line and set up for Morgan to be a dive putty. Them holding hands, look at where Morgan's positioned. Direct access to the back line alongside Plex, flash over the Emperor's Divide, and there's no more damage dealers left. Doinby isn't in a position yet. LWX was supposed to carry these fights, but because everyone's jumping on him, he can't be that carry.
And you know what? We didn't talk about this, but I love from WE, their comp has really good AoE.
Oh, yeah.
You know, from Pantheon or Atreus or Aatrox, Echo. Like, and then Ezra's like, okay, I can true shot barrage through everyone. And the Solar Flare is AoE as well. So
You really want to die on this Atreus, though. Don't you?
yeah, no, he's not a heal. Well, he went up Mount Targon. So let me just say this while this is a slower game. He went up Mount Targon, and he became Pantheon, right? He got possessed. Long story short, Aatrox and him had a big fight, I think, if the law's right, or if I read it correctly. And then Pantheon went bye-bye, but he's still there, and he has Pantheon spill. What is it?
Spear.
And now he's Aatrox. No, now he's Atreus. Damn.
You were so close. But now that Atreus or Pantheon or Aatrox, whatever he might be, is taking the top lane turret. With the help of also Plex there. But Morgan now split pushing against Gimgoon again at the bottom side of the map. This is where we'll start to see WE look to split open the map. We saw it with Doinby do it in the last game with Cassidy. Plex in a similar scenario. Force out these side waves, hope to join with the teleport or that ultimate.
Just not that fed, right? Definitely not the
Cassidy not that big.
Who's got a pentakill already. Oh, maybe no, actually he had a pentakill by now, didn't he? So a very different game state here, but you're right, Plex is in a very strong position despite being 30 CS down on Doinby. WE now pushing towards the mid lane. Now, coming to what we were talking about before, the Aatrox in the side lane, Gimgoon doesn't have the Bramble Vest, so at this point, struggling to match Morgan. And WE are forcing them back. And
this is the thing, not only is a Bramble Vest or an Execution is great against Morgan right now, we're looking at Ocean Soul. Ocean Soul is going to do so much work in these team fights and extend the period of time that WE are strong that they need to start putting these big ticket items into their inventory.
From personal experience, Ocean Soul on Ezreal is really nice to play with. The ability to stay in fights for longer and kite around when you know all you have to do is hit Q and you're like, well, I'm back with help.
FPX need to look again at how to slow down this game. They're taking fights they shouldn't in around Dragons. And now that this has happened, they're under stress now in this minute and 35 Dragon next spot.
Really pushing in. Look at where WE are. They just push up against enemy jungle and make it hard for FPX to even contest for the red. We'll go over to LWX, but for WE, full vision control in the topside river around Baron. And they're resetting now, setting up for this Ocean Soul. And at this point, I think FPX are like, well, we're probably going to give this over. But are they? Black Cleaver on the Lee Sin, so that's something. Hello.
The option for them is there to trade, or at least try and put the trade into the head of WE for the Baron.
Yep.
It's a hard one to call here. I think that the Ocean Soul does give so much options over to WE, but the beauty is when you're on WE's side, Morgan can solo out the Dragon, you can keep pressure up towards this top lane Baron, and that's why these Ocean Souls, or Dragon Souls in general, are so difficult to fight against, because they're oftentimes spawning when Baron is still on the cards, and you've got to try and cover both objectives at once.
So if we're heading towards that Dragon Soul though, let's be real, what is the objective, or sorry, what is the, hang on. What is the ultimate that changes everything? I think it's Tien maybe with the kick, because he's just kicked someone into the enemy team, missing against the wall, but he's got the stone plate, he's so damn tanky. FPX put everything into him and kill him, but WE can't get into position. For FPX, the kick from Tien puts light on this Ocean Soul.
I thought they might have been able to take that fight, but Morgan was so far down in that river, couldn't get up to the fight in time, nobody able to touch LWX or Doinby, and now, unless Beishan can make the steal, FPX will have this 2-level advantage for the Echo.
Gimgoon has the ulti though. When does he use it? Onto Beishan. He doesn't send him away. The Chrono Break comes through instead. Onto the Dragon, they deny the soul, but here comes Pantheon over 4. Plex dodges away and blocks the damage from LWX, but they're free firing into him. From front to back they go. Gimgoon is unkillable, and LWX has confidence in his strut. 1 kill over to Plex. Denial of the Ocean Soul. The game goes for longer.
How could you not have confidence in your strut when FPX managed to pick off Plex at the start of that fight? WE overextend to try and get Morgan's Darkened Blade to steal the Dragon, I think they were going for, but everyone was so separated. Jomong couldn't come over the wall because there was Doinby in the pit. He couldn't arcane shift to get in a better position in case he had the likes of Gimgoon or Tien jump on him. And we're going to see this here. So Morgan goes in for the steal, I think, with the Darkened Blade. Not the best of calls, but what's Jomong? Not able to get into these fights because he's afraid of Tien getting onto him here. Doinby's still in the pit, and it means that they're able to isolate onto Plex when he ults in, and nothing left in the tank for WE.
And now the timers of what WE are looking at. Okay, Ocean Soul's delayed by another 4 minutes. Baron's up there on a composition that has an Azir with a Zhonya's Hourglass and a Blasting Wand. And the Misfortune almost has the IE. So FPX starting to hit some of these big spikes that will match WE.
And all FPX have to do is not touch the Baron. They just need to stop WE getting onto it. And if they can do so, well then they get time to scale. Doinby can get his items, Plex will fall off more. This is where FPX have an opportunity now to get control of this game and bring it back fully under their control.
And it only becomes harder for WE. The turret in the top lane goes down. Space created by Fun plus Phoenix. They're looking for Gimgoon around the side. Is this the pick? Parallel convergence will not connect. I like how it's a big pause in the middle of the bubble. That's cool. I think the center skin is the coolest. It actually makes the souls, you know, little beats. I like that. I dig that. I tried to use cool
detail as a play-by-play.
I tried to use cool language to fit in, you know. Hang on, missing. Blocked away here with a good dredge line. Teleport's going to come through. We got a full-on fight here. Parallel convergence and solar flare. Tien might be dead, but saved by the safeguard as Pantheon wants to come in. Plex can't get him because TikTok goes the clock again. Plex is dead. Just dead. Morgan will get himself a reset. Gimgoon will go down, but mid laner for top laner, it's a 1-for-1 again.
Doinby had to invest so much to avoid everyone diving on him there that they couldn't actually turn to focus and help Gimgoon out. Plex bought enough time, and with that big tank down, well, it makes things a little bit easier to get onto the back line.
Well, you said it in draft. Jeomong definitely arcane shifting backwards, but Tien has found himself missing once again. The stone plate used in the last trade, I believe. Tien will not get anything more, even with his kick flash available. So we're trading and we're slow again.
We're not touching Baron either, and again, this is what we want to do, have FPX gain time. You can see the blasting wand in the pocket of this Azir, wants to turn that into another item, and possibly a fourth if this game goes long enough, but crucially, pick up these big items before that next dragon spawns.
But you can see for WE, like, this is not, the way they're acting, this is not a bottom tier team. Like, they are trying to be proactive. It is really hard against an FPX that are on form, and today, I'll say they're on form, to push such a hard win condition against this World Championship lineup.
And again, we're seeing this Pantheon pick come into LPL, and I'm not blaming Plex for this one. I'm just not overly convinced by it. On paper, it does what you want. It pushes, it's got side lane control, it's got some great dive potential, but I've yet to see a team really get to work with all of that kit.
And it's Plex, right, in his laning phase. We talk about that Pantheon. It's like, well, on any champion, really, he is not successful. He does not come out of lane well at all. I mean, like, I wrote this down that he's got... No, maybe you did. He's got a low gold share. But the biggest point I wrote down was that Plex literally is just rinsing and repeating 2019, where he's got this set champion pool, but he's always down in gold at the 15-minute mark in lane.
The thing is, though, he still does a decent portion of his team's damage. 24.3% of his team's damage still comes. So a lot of gold efficiency comes out from Plex, which is why oftentimes we don't see him get attention. But now, that attention is turned towards this mid lane. Parallel
convergence from Beishang wants to make the engage, but FPX dropped their turret on the enemy's mid lane. And so WE are on the wrong side of the rift, but so are FPX.
The thing...
Ooh. What? Dredge line connects on to Jeomong. He gets bursted out. Sonic Wave into Resonating Strike. Doomby gets a kill. Now FPX they turn, but Doomby misses the ult. That's like me on Azir. Plexen missing, running away, but Doomby still follows up. It's still an Azir as Tien jumps in with the kick flash. Morgan is left going, what the heck just happened?
Jeomong is on Ezreal. Why am I seeing Jeomong get caught out so many times in these fights? Not playing respectfully. I know, look, Nautilus hitbox is busted. Yeah, look, we can all shout about that. But realistically, that Ezreal should not have been in that position.
He arcane shift away, this time not in a straight line, but got punished so heavily. I will say that, yeah, okay.
Why are you there?
Well, look, partly Nautilus, but you're right, partly good on Chris.
Either way, Jeomong arcane shifted into that bush, which meant he was already pretty much face-to-face with LWX, and that's just a go button for FPX. Not even, this isn't a gold lead, this isn't anything else, this is just FPX realizing, hey look, we've got a massive opportunity, and a great hook from Crisp.
So hard for WE again. I'm quite sympathetic, because against FPX like this, you say, okay, this is really hard to win, and FPX from the get-go have denied Team WE. Tien looking like he's back in form here over the series. And also the side of FPX, they're still looking to be undefeated with their World Championship lineup. Undefeated in series at the very least.
No, they lost IG.
Yeah, but that was with Khan.
Oh, sorry.
World
with Kim
Championship
Yoon.
lineup.
Sorry,
Kim Yoon
I'm
doesn't
sorry,
count.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm not as big a brain as you. I hadn't caught on to the rest
Thank
of your
you.
statement. But
I do try 5-head.
we've got FPX pushing in this mid lane. The thing that I want to note, though, is with this double Ocean coming over for FPX, this poke that Jomon could potentially put down at the start of these fights is no longer a factor. They'll be able to heal up. They'll be able to get a bunch of their mana back. So now we've just been able to take a step away.
Oh, hang on, there's parallel convergence. That
Morgan?
could be a pick here for WE. Morgan in the flank here, right. Pantheon jumps into the middle as well. But Doomby is untouched in the backline. The bullet time comes out to Plex, and he runs out. Doomby still here. Shoves back Morgan, then turns his attention. The parallel convergence will get 3 from Beisheng. Can he do it, though? No, LWX is too far ahead, and Doomby slides his way back with a full ace from Fun Plus Phoenix.
Clean ace on top of it as well. Not a single member from FPX drops, but they want to drop the turrets in the base of WE.
I mean, can they end here, Dagda? Short death timers. Plex will be coming up. But FPX just have so much shove at this point.
It'll be inhib into recall into Baron.
No, it's
repeat.
FPX.
Oh, they're going
It'll
for
be
it. Okay,
inhib
never mind,
into
never mind.
Nexus turret into game end. First Nexus turret under pressure as I throw my jacket on, and the second one will die as well. That's too quick. My jacket's not on. I'm running out with the arm, and FPX 2-0 quicker than I can put a jacket on.